Hi everyone and welcome back to Woman2Woman. Well, today we continued our study in looking at the life of Barnabas. As we heard last week, Barnabas was an ordinary man but lived his life beautifully for God and was able to do extraordinary things for him and the advancement of his kingdom. Last week we discovered that Barnabas took responsibility. He saw a need and he responded to that need. He was generous and he was an encourager. And today we looked at the fact that Barnabas was also kind. Have you ever wondered what it must have been like for the Apostle Paul when he made that journey to the church in Jerusalem to meet with the other believers? You know, he must have been afraid, he must have been scared of how he may have been received, bearing in mind that Paul was once a persecutor of Christians, and here he was now preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ to everyone that he met through towns and cities and villages. And he was going to meet with his fellow believers, his brothers in Christ, in Jerusalem. Now they also must have been quite afraid. You know, was he there truly as a believer? Was he there as a spy? Was he going to capture them? Could they trust him? You know, and you wouldn't blame them for feeling that way, considering how Paul, once known as Saul, treated Christians in the past. Now, a couple of years has passed now, and he arrives at the church in Jerusalem, and everyone's a bit hostile. They don't really know how to respond to him. Now, Barnabas, you know, wasn't one of the big hitters. He could have sat quietly in the back. He didn't really have to speak up, but he did. And there's this passage of scripture in Acts chapter 9 where it says, But Barnabas took Paul by the hand and he led him to the other believers and he spoke up for them. For Paul, he showed loving kindness, the loving kindness that we read about in the Old Testament. You know, that ancient word that's used is hesed. It's the kind of loving kindness that the Lord shows us. Loving kindness is demonstrating compassion. It's that loyalty. It's that love without any return, of just giving love and demonstrating love for others without even receiving anything in return. You know, Barnabas stood up for Paul. He spoke up for Paul. He listened to Paul's story and he relayed that story to the other believers. And they listened to Barnabas. They listened to what Barnabas thought about Paul. You know, he really made a difference there in that initial meeting. Barnabas showed loving kindness. So let's have a think about where we're at now. Barnabas, a man of God, just an ordinary man, but did extraordinary things for God. He stepped up, he took responsibility, he saw a need and he responded to that need. He was generous and he was encouraging. But not only was he encouraging, he was kind, and he's able to see the potential in someone else. Let us be people, let us be women who encourage other women, who see the potential in other women, who draw alongside other women and offer words of encouragement and support. Let us be women who are kind and show that hesed, that show that loving kindness to others. So, want to find out more about Barnabas? Well, tune in next week. Until next time, God bless.